Hi guys, thank you for joining us once again. I hope you're all safe and well. Today, Shane and I are doing something a little bit different. We're having to go fly fishing. Now, as you can see, there's an absolutely colossal reservoir behind me, 615 acres. It's in the heart of mid-Wales and it's called Llyn Clywedog. Now, I grew up fishing this reservoir, but Shane has never been here and I haven't been here for a good 7 to 8 years now. This is something that we've been planning for a couple of months, and fortunately for us, travel restrictions have been lifted, which means we are now able to come up here. It's been fishing very well in the last couple of weeks and we cannot wait to get a rod in the water. Well, I'm off to an absolutely great start. I've only had 3 casts, and yeah, on the first cast I thought I had a bit of a take, but I wasn't sure. Like, I haven't fished here for a number of years, and to be honest, I thought I kind of hooked the bottom, but yeah, kept going, and on the 3rd cast, as the flies were sinking, just tightened up, and yeah, I've got my first fish. This one has come to a lightly coloured booby, which I'll go through with you a little bit later on, but there you go. Oop. Here's the first one. And one thing I absolutely love about Clywedog, and one of the reasons why we used to fish here so much when I was younger, is because catch and release is not frowned upon here, unlike many other fisheries. So fortunately for this guy, he's going back. See if we can get some more. So for that take I just had, it was literally, I'd say 8 to 10 seconds of the fly sinking, so obviously I can't ignore that, and the plan now is going to be count down roughly 10 seconds, start a nice slow retrieve and try and find out where the fish are. If they're at that depth, it won't take long to get another one. It's not really difficult fishing. Trout fishing is very enjoyable, something that pretty much anybody can do. The hardest part of this is pretty much perfecting your casting and making sure you're getting turnover, and yeah, with a little bit of practice you can get it done. It doesn't take too long. So as I'm sure you can see, the mist is now starting to rise and the day is getting a little bit clearer. The sun is now getting a little bit higher in the sky. It is still early in the morning, but the sun has now managed to pass over the mountain in the background. So yeah, the mist is really lifting now and it's getting a lot clearer. The weather today is going to be quite warm. Well, I say warm, for this time of year it's going to be warm. It's around 12 degrees and we've got sunshine forecast all day. so we're expecting the fish to be in the upper layers. At the moment, because we had cold temperatures last night, which is the reason why we had such a heavy mist on the water this morning, temperatures went down to like 2 degrees, or -2, sorry, last night. Hope we just missed a fish then. Yeah, we decided to start off a little bit deeper, and I'm on a dive 3 line and Shane's on a dive 5. At the moment it's only the one fish for me, but Shane's had a couple of takes as well. And yeah, as the day goes on, fairly sure that we're going to end up on probably intermediate lines or even floating lines on the surface. But yeah, so far there's a number of anglers around us. It's quite busy in all honesty, and I think most people are catching fish on the same sort of lines that we're fishing at the moment, judging on the colour of the lines. But yeah, that's going to be the plan. We're going to be fishing high in the water, go through a few different methods. We'll talk you through the different styles of fishing that we're doing, different retrieves and everything that we're doing. But for now, we're going to concentrate on the fishing, try and find out where the fish are at the moment, and hopefully get a couple on the bank. Another one on the booby. Well, there we go. Fish number 2. Similar size to the last one. Again, taken on a booby. But this time I let the line sink a lot more. It was pretty much scraping the bottom. And as it was just coming up to the margin in front of me, off he went. Happy days. Let's get him back. Well, here we are once again. Just managed to get myself another one. Again, this one was on a booby. Didn't manage to get a fight on this one because the battery in my camera died. And yeah, just as I was going to bring it in to get the battery to change it, I was connected to this one. Another nice fish, slightly bigger than the other two. And, oh, nearly went then. Yeah, slightly bigger than the other two. And yeah, it's turned out to be quite a good day. 3 fish in space of 2.5 hours. Very nice. Another one gone back. Well, once again, I just changed the battery over in the camera and got the rod out before I could adjust the camera to where I wanted it. It's gone again, and much smaller one, this one. Really lively one as well. But yeah, much smaller one. But I'm going to be honest with you, I haven't done this in so long. It's really nice just to get a bend in the rod, and I'm happy catching these all day, although a bigger one would be nice. Fantastic start, can't ask for anything better. Real good fun too. Shane is in. Shane is most definitely in. And our fish is beating him up. But it's gone very quiet now on the bottom, so I decided to reel in and have a change of tactics. Fortunately, I've got 2 rods, so I am going to keep this one set up for later on, but I'm going to be going up a lot higher in the water now, and I'm going to be going on a bung on a floating line. But before I go through that, I'm very quickly now going to go through the setup that I've been using so far and the flies that have done me the fish. So to start off with, I've got a 10-foot 6 to 7 weight rod, and that is absolutely perfect for reservoir style fishing. It's perfect for everything that this lake's going to throw at you. Whether you're fishing on the bank, on the boat, using floating lines, sinking lines, it will literally cover everything, and it's a perfect all-rounder. The reel I've got for it is just matched to the weight of the rod, 6 to 7 weight reel. I've got, I think, 5 or 6 spools of that, and that's quite a new purchase for me because one of my old reels broke. But yeah, you don't need to spend an awful lot of money on a reel. It's, at the end of the day, you play the fish with the line, not with the reel. So yeah, I just bought one that would do the job for me, and all in, I think it cost me less than £100 for the reel and all the spools, so keep that in mind. My leading material, I'm using £10, only reason being because although the fish we're catching at the moment are not very big, it is very, very common on here to get double and even treble hookups, because with rainbow trout, they swim around in shoals, and if your flies go past a shoal and they're up for feeding, then every fly on your leader is going to get picked up. So yeah, that's the reason for the £10 line. On the subject of the leader, mine's going up to the end of the rod and back down, say halfway, so it's around 14 to 15 feet in length, and my boobies are, I'd say, about 5 to 6 feet apart, so quite a good distance between them there. This is the fly that's done me the most fish. It's the point fly, and that is a candy floss booby. It's quite a new fly to me. My dad told me about this one a couple of months ago when my interest in fly fishing was sparked up again. And yeah, it's not one that I've used before, but it's very easy to tie. It's basically peach booby eyes, a peach wing, a pearl shiny kind of body on it, and then a white marabou tail. And then the other booby I've got, just slide the rod up a second. The other one that I have is what I call a cormorant booby. So it's just black eyes, black booby eyes, a black wing, and then again a pearl body. And normally with a cormorant you don't have the tail, but I like an extra bit of movement, and it's absolutely tiny amount of marabou there. But yeah, that's basically my variation of a cormorant, black cormorant booby, and that's done me 1 fish. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been using. In all honesty, this is pretty much my go-to setup when fishing up here at this time of year, and sort of later in the year as well, or at least it was back when I used to fish here a lot. And yeah, it's always done me proud. You know, it doesn't need to be overcomplicated, and no matter what retriever you're using, no matter what line you're using, boobies work on this venue really, really well. So do not ignore them if you're going to come up here and give it a try. As I said though, I'm going to put that rod down for a moment because it has gone quiet, and now I'm going to go over to a floating line. And on here I've got a bung, and the bung is attached to the end of my fly line. And the fly that I'm using, to be completely honest, I don't even know the name of it. This is an old fly that my brother sort of came up with years and years ago when we used to fish up here in the European Bank Championships and the Molly Sweet competition and all that kind of stuff. And it's basically just a load of zonka strip tied up the body, so there's a lot of movement there, and a very big marabou or black marabou tail. It's got a really heavy 5.5, I think it is, or 6mm even gold head, tungsten gold head, so that sinks like a rock. And yeah, for whatever reason, the fish up here absolutely love this, and they can't get enough of it. We've done very, very well up here on this fly in the past, and now we've got a little bit of chop on the water. I can't resist but to put it out. Let's see what I can get.
we are, second one of the day. Slow start, but finally get a bit of action. Let's get him back. Get his big brother. 6 foot long.
Once again, it seems to be the right tactic that we've chosen, because I've had another one, and I'm not really sure how many fish this is now, because I've just actually lost 2 or 3 as well. It's you're getting quite finicky takes with this. It's very yeah, very finicky takes, and it's basically whenever we twitch it back a foot, leave it, and it shoots off, and that fish is gone now. But yeah, I'm not really sure how many that is now, but we've got a couple between us. Shane is starting to catch a couple as well now, which is nice, and yeah, it's looking really good for the rest of the day. Seems that whatever tactic we put on, it doesn't take too long to find the fish. Just keep at it. Try and get a big one. So as I mentioned, the method that I'm using at the moment, and Shane is also using the same method, is the bung, and we're doing that on a floating line. There's a couple of reasons why we decided to do this. As you can probably see from behind me, there's a little bit of a wind that's picked up now, and when you have a bit of a chop on here, the fish seem to respond to it really well. And you know, with the wind, a lot of the food on this reservoir comes from the grass and from the land around the lake, rather than fly life within the lake. So it tends to blow a lot of food onto the water, bringing the fish up in the layers. And yeah, like I said, they respond very well to it. But there's also another couple of reasons why we've opted to do this. With that chop, it enables us to present our flies in a very natural way, probably the most natural way that we can at the moment. And what I mean by that is, what we do is we chuck it out, chuck it across the wind, and basically allow the line to swing around with the wind. So in the same natural path as any food blown onto the water would. Although our flies are quite deep in the water, you know, not everything that blows on stays afloat. A lot of the stuff sinks, and the fish tend to respond really well to it. And also, in all honesty, because I haven't done this for so long, casting boobies out on sinking lines, they get quite heavy, and if you're not used to doing this, it can really tire you out. And it's also given me a little bit of a break, and giving my arms a little bit of a break, because once it's out, I can just, as I said, leave it swing around. A cast can take up to 2, 3, even 4 minutes, depending on obviously how far you cast and how much it swings around. But yeah, it's a very comfortable way of fishing, very easy, really effective. I've already lost, I'd say, 3 or 4 fish, and that's simply down to me just daydreaming and basically being too slow on the takes. Like, they're not very aggressive takes, or the one aggressive take I had, I managed to get the fish in, but the others have been very finicky little taps as I'm retrieving it about a foot and then leaving it sink, just to give the fly a little bit of extra motion. And I'm on the bottom, and yeah, as I said, it's a fantastic method. It's really good. I've lost a couple of fish, but that's my own doing, just because I'm not paying attention. But yeah, very effective, and I'm fairly sure that if we keep it up, we should get another couple of fish within the next couple of hours. Well, I just realised that we've been catching all these fish. We haven't actually showed you any of the fish with the fly in their mouth. So what I'm going to do now is exactly that. So there you go. There's the fish, if you can see it, and there's the fly. Absolutely nailed. Get him unhooked. I'm using barbless flies as well at the moment. There's no need for barbed flies for what we're doing with catch and release. But yeah, I don't really want to hold this fish up while standing, but I'll hold it up over the net just to show you. There you go. Oh. Good thing I had the net there. Oh. There you go. Another fine rainbow trout. Don't know how many this is. But yeah, very, very happy. We're having a whale of a time. Really glad we made the trip up here. And I don't think it's going to be too long before we decide to come up again. And what a positive it is that we haven't got to take any of these fish home. Fantastic.
Quick change, went on the buzzers, quick fish, off he goes. See if we can get another one.
Well, over the last hour or so, it's gone really quiet. We decided between us that I was going to stick to the bung method because, you know, we were having the odd couple of takes, although they were very, very hard to connect with the fish. Yeah, I decided to stick with the bung, and Shane decided to go back to boobies on the sinking line. And yeah, I've actually decided now to come up the bank. I'm literally, when I say up the bank, I'm 10 steps to the left of where I was, but I'm fishing sort of into this little bay that you can see behind me. And out of nowhere, I've just had 4 takes. Again, I've lost 2 fish. They just really not taking it properly today. But I've also just had 2. Obviously I'm using 1 fly, but what happened was I had the fish, brought it in, netted it, and I noticed as I was netting it, there was another fish behind it, and luckily the fly that I caught the fish on came out of its mouth in the net, so I just flicked it back on, and literally in seconds the one that was following it took the fly again. So yeah, I've got 2 fish in the net at the moment. Again, both small fish, but you know, I'm more than happy catching these. It'd be nice to show you them both, but they are very, very lively. Whoa, to bear with me. There you go. Cracking fish again. Lovely little stockies. Let's get them back. Well, after another quiet spell of around about an hour, finally managed to get another fish. This one is one of the smaller ones of today, but again, it's a result all the same. Fantastic little rainbow. The condition of these fish is superb, I have to say. Really impressed with them. Very clean fish. And yeah, they really, all of them have given a fantastic account for themselves, so real good fun catching them. It would be really, really nice now if we could get one a little bit bigger. You know, 3 or 4 times the size of that would be absolutely superb, and I can only imagine how strong that fish would fight. It's a fantastic day, really enjoying ourselves. Let's get the rod back out. Well, it's actually taken quite a while now between getting this one and the last one, but I finally managed to get another one in the net. I've actually made one little change to get this one. I'm now off the floating line and I've gone on to a fast intermediate. Fish definitely seem to have dropped down with this bright sunshine, but yeah, not very long after changing over, got another one in the net, so it's a great result. Same fly, still a black fly, and yeah, just fishing a little bit deeper than I was. Let's hope we can keep it going. I have to say, normally I wouldn't pick up a fish this small for the camera, but it's just really uncanny that Shane asked me earlier on what sort of nuisance fish, or if there's any nuisance fish in here, and the answer I gave him was, yeah, there's a couple of perch, but I've never caught one. And what are the chances? I've just gone and bloody caught one. It's only a tiny one, only a small guy, but still, it's a little perch. First one I've ever had from here. I have seen plenty in the past, but yeah, I've never actually caught one. No, there you go. Couldn't write it. Let's take a closer look. There you go. Unbelievable. Let's get him back. Well, not really much to say on this one. I just shouted to Shane to ask him to come and net the fish for me and to get a bit of footage of me playing it in, but in true style it seems to be how it's going today. I hooked a fish, he hooked a fish, and again we didn't have any footage really of us playing any fish, although I think I might have had a bit of stuff of Shane playing his. But yeah, like I said, both of us just got hooked up. There's mine, and there's Shane's. I know I've said it already, but this has been an absolutely awesome day's fishing, and yeah, I really don't think it's going to be long before we're up here again. Let's get him back. Awesome. Seems to be a bit of a snag out in front of me, and I've just got stuck in it and lost my point fly, so I'm just tying up myself a new leader. I'm sticking with 10 pound. It's worked so far. Fish don't seem to be too worried about it or you know, scared of it, so I'm going to stick to it. Although we haven't had any big fish so far, I know I mentioned it earlier as well, but there's a very good chance if a pod comes past that we could end up with a double hookup or even a treble hookup if we're using 3 flies. So better safe than sorry. I'm going to stick to the 10 pound. I'm not worried that I need to drop down to get takes or anything. I genuinely feel that when we've had the quieter spells today, that is simply down to the fish just feeling a little bit of the pressure, the angling pressure between us and the boat users, and yeah, they just switch off. Now it doesn't last very long. It only lasts for, I think the most it's lasted for was about an hour today, so it's not a long time. And yeah, to be honest, it's not really a bad thing when it does go quiet, because it kind of pushes us to get the thinking caps on and make some changes. And to be fair, every time we've made a change today, it seems to have paid off, and we seem to have had some results from it. So yeah, we're not really complaining. It's, if anything, it's done us a bit of a favour, and made sure we're not being lazy. But yeah, I'm doing the new leader now. Can't speak, and I'm going to stick to what I was doing. I'm going to use 2 boobies still. There's no reason to change them because I've had a lot of takes on them today. So, in fact, I am going to change it. I'm going to change the point one from the candy floss, which is what I just lost, to a little orange booby. Size 10 again, so I'm not using any big flies. I'm just going to stick to the size 10. Bit of a force of habit really from when I was a youngster, tying flies all the time. I was always tying them to competition size because I used to do a lot of trials and all that kind of stuff and a lot of competitions as a youth. So yeah, it's just sort of force of habit to tie smaller flies. And in all honesty, I've never really felt too much of a difference between big flies and small flies catching big or small fish, which seems to be quite a common misconception from people. Like, same with lures, with pike fishing for instance, you don't need to use a massive lure to catch a big pike. It's just, if the fish is there and they see it, they'll eat it. And I'm fairly sure that that's how it works with flies as well. So yeah, I just tied up my new leader now. I was very painless, to be honest. I had a little bit of a nightmare this morning trying to remember the knots that I used to use, but yeah, got there in the end. Leader's done, flies are on. Let's see if we can pick up one on the orange. Maybe that's the missing key to getting a bigger one. Who knows? We're about to find out. Change into another one. Again, he's fishing on a fast sinking line with boobies. Seems to be the going tactic for us at the moment. Another fish of a similar sort of size by the look of it. And he's got him in. Well done, Shane. Do you want to hold him up for the camera, bud? Black booby. Nice. Got a couple on that day, haven't we? Yeah. Hooked him well, have it? Nice. Well done, bud. Hoist him up then. Like a bar of silver. Bloody hell. So lively, wasn't he? Incredible. Super healthy fish. Off he goes. Straight back to it. I said straight back to it. We really are getting to that time now where it's getting close to home time. It's drawing in, the evening's really drawing in. And yeah, we don't really have much time left honestly, today's session has just surpassed both of our expectations by miles. You know, Shane was a little bit, I wouldn't say nervous, but in a way nervous coming up here. Like it's a massive water, colossal for us here in Wales. It's 615 acres. It is stocked with a lot of fish. I think there's 35 or 38,000 fish stocked in here every year. But you know, a lot of those fish do get taken home because it's an incredibly busy venue, and loads of people do like to take the fish home, which you know is fair enough. But yeah, he's done really well today. It's not the kind of water that he's fishing. He's very new to fly fishing, and to have what he's had is brilliant. We've got probably an hour, maybe a little bit less left of the session before it goes dark. It would be nice to have, you know, 1 or 2 more each. If not, then we're not going to be disappointed, because yeah, it's been incredible. We've literally lost count of the number of fish we've had. It's probably getting close to 30 fish between us now for the day. Obviously we haven't had everything on camera because it's too hectic and it's too difficult to be in front of the camera and behind the camera. So you know, we've done the best that we can with what we've had. But yeah, it's been a truly incredible trip, and one that we are both really glad that we've done. No, it's not ideal, no. Is it greedy just to want one more? Probably, isn't it? Tomorrow, I still want one more. Well, as you can see, we are now pretty much finished for the day. We're just parking the van as we speak. After we had that double hookup, we didn't manage to get any more fish, and all the other anglers around us, and as you saw surely in the video, that this bank was really busy today. It was very shortly after we put those fish back, everyone seemed to leave, so there must be a bit of a trend there that after a certain time the fish seem to disappear, and that's pretty much what happened with us today. We hope you enjoyed the content. We've had a fantastic day, and I'm sure I've done your head in saying that over and over in the video, but we really mean it. It's been absolutely brilliant, and we've really enjoyed ourselves. If this kind of content is something that interests you and you'd like to see some more, then please leave us know in the comments below. If you can leave us a like, subscribe and a comment, then it really does help us out, and we really do appreciate it. Thank you very much once again, and we'll see you on the next one.